Hello Year 10. So your daily reminder to complete work in your books. Please write down the title, analysing Stave 5. Just Stave 5, not Stave 5.1. We've not split Stave 5 in half. And then your date for today and underline both with a ruler. So your exam, just a reminder, will require you to analyse extracts, but also to explore the novel as a whole. Today's lesson will help you to do this, as it always does. So, we're going to look at social responsibility as our key term for the lesson. So social responsibility is the awareness of the needs of others and a sense of duty to help. So how can we link this to the main message of the novel? So a sentence in your book, please. The main message of the novel is, link it to social responsibility, please. Pause now while you complete your starter. Okay, so context corner is poverty in the Victorian age. So, in an earlier lesson, I asked you to listen up to 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Can you now go back to this video, listen to the rest and make notes on the context? So 3 bullet points you are going to complete on your own. I'm not helping you this time. What do you learn about Victorians and Christmas? Add 3 bullet points to your mind map. So pause and watch the YouTube video now. Okay, so we're going to look at this extract today from Stave 5, and then we'll look at the question. He was so fluttered and so glowing with his good intentions that his broken voice could scarcely answer to his call. He had been sobbing violently in his conflict with the spirit, and his face was wet with tears. "They are not torn down," cried Scrooge, folding one of his bed curtains in his arms. "They are not torn down, rings and all. They are here. I am here. The shadows of the things that would have been may be dispelled. They will be. I know they will." His hands were busy with his garments all this time, turning them inside out, putting them on upside down, tearing them, mislaying them, making them parties to every kind of extravagance. "I don't know what to do," cried Scrooge, laughing and crying in the same breath, and making a perfect lacoon of himself with his stockings. "I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world. Hello there. Whoop! Hello!" He had frisked into the sitting room and was now standing there, perfectly winded. Okay, so starting with this extract, how does Dickens present Scrooge as a changed man? Pick the most important 3 quotations and annotate in detail. This will help with the next activity. Now, if you've got a question like this in your exam, this would be a gift, because all it's asking you to do is track over 3 moments Scrooge's change in the novel. So at the start he's like this, in the middle he's like this, at the end he's like this. Beautiful question. So that's what this question is asking you to do. So can you please pause the video and highlight if you've got a copy of the novel or if you can print this out. Otherwise, write down 3 quotes that show Scrooge as a changed man. Pause the video, highlight and annotate with techniques and zooms now. Okay. So a good exam answer follows the character or the theme on a journey. So that is why we are asking you to pick out 3 key moments in these lessons. So Scrooge's journey is from Stave 1, how he's acting quite miserly, to Stave 5, how he acts a lot more benevolently. See, using keywords from our keyword grid. So we want to trace the moments where he changes. So this would be your exam answer structure. So you'd start with paragraph 1 on your extract. So you want to spend about 20 minutes on this. So you pick out your 3 quotes, you make an umbrella point, and you go quote, zoom, effect, quote, zoom, effect, quote, zoom, effect, and then straight on to moment 1 from the whole novel. It should say whole novel, not whole play. And you spend about 25 minutes on your next 2 paragraphs. So I would say, if you're starting with the extract that I've just shown you from Stave 5, I would go back to the start and say, however, this is a vast change from Scrooge in Stave 1, give 2 quotes, analyse both. And then say, however, in the middle of the novel, we see him start to change when 2 quotes, analyse. So you could go with Stave 2 or you could go with Stave 3. It doesn't necessarily matter where you get them from as long as you show that he's starting to change. I love Stave 2 for this, where he talks about Fezziwig. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune, is a great quote for showing him starting to change. He's still holding on to that idea of money, but he's starting to realise that happiness is worth more. Right, so can you please attempt this whole play analysis? So you're going to write a plan for me today of how you would answer that question. So I'm not asking you to write it up into an essay. I just want you to do a plan. So you need to write me a sentence, an umbrella sentence. At the start of the text, Dickens presents Scrooge as, how does he present him? And then 3 bullet points for your 3 quotes that you would like to use here. And then, however, towards the middle of the text, yes, sorry, I just realised it says play again. However, towards the middle of the text, Dickens presents Scrooge as changed from this into this. So miserly into maybe a bit softer. 3 quotes, plan them out. Or 2 quotes and some context. So I've done 3 bullet points here. You can do 3 quotes, you can do 2 quotes and some context. Obviously, it's nice to make links between what you are saying and context. And then finally, at the end of the play, Dickens presents Scrooge as, finish the sentence, 2 quotes and context, or 3 quotes. Okay, so that is your main task for this lesson. There is a success criteria, so make thoughtful points about the character or theme develops or changes. Try to link it to why is Dickens doing this. 4 to 6 embedded quotations. Explain the quotes in detail. So next to your quotes and your bullet points, try to identify a technique, try to identify a zoom, try to identify an effect. Identify a range of language techniques and structural techniques. So you can talk about things like triplets, foreshadowing for structure, zoom in on detail, make thoughtful links to the context. Okay, so everything I've just covered. Okay, so you have probably about 25 minutes to half an hour to complete this plan. So do try to make your point, try to link to context, try to do a couple of quotes, and next to each quote, what technique, what zoom, what is the point of this quote, what's it telling us? Okay, good luck year 10, off you go.